Sorry, but I got something in that. Morning to you. It's a Monday morning. It's a great day. Another fantastic day to be alive. That's right. It is believe it or not, the 17th day of August, 2026. And for those folks who want to know what the weather's like today, or what they say it's going to be like, well, right now the weather outside is 78 degrees. Oh yeah, it sounds like a warm one, but nothing that we can't handle. Forecast for the day, well, it's going to be nearly the same as it was yesterday. A 10% chance of precipitation today, sunshine, and maybe a few afternoon clouds, hot and humid as usual. High near 100 degrees today. Winds west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. On tonight, a little bit more the same, 50% chance of precipitation. A shower if possible early, some clouds, low around 76 degrees, winds light and variable. On tomorrow, that's tomorrow, Get Lord says the same. Sunshine and mix a shower or two. Okay, not just think. That's what the weatherman said. Thunderstorm, it's possible. High around 98 degrees tomorrow, so it's cooled off a little bit for tomorrow. But other than that, pretty much the weather pattern seems to be, well, it's August. You know, I mean, you can't. When it's August, it's hot. I mean, that's just the way it goes in the world. You know, and it's been doing that for a long time. So I don't, I mean, what would surprise me if it was August and it was snowing, that would surprise me. This does not surprise me. And the first thing you do before you do anything, my friends, the first thing you do, you thank God for one more day. Because somebody, someone, someplace, and of course, what happened to all the people in the earthquake over the weekend, our prayers go out for them and any other family that is grieving and bereavement for the loss of a loved one. We grieve with you. Truly, we did it. Got a little age on you. You've gone through some things like that already. Good morning to you. Time to rise and shine. Next up, of course, it is our daily bread. A word from on high. Something that'll change your perspective or at least give you a new one. But either way, it's good for the soul. So we'll be back right after this. And you're going to be visited today by Admiral McRaven. He's going to tell us some things we can do to make it through this life. We joined the military the same day. Obviously, he outranked me. Woo! I didn't have the brains back in those days like I got now. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Next up, of course, it is our daily bread. So enjoy. I hope you get something out of this. I do. Every time I listen to one of them. We'll be back.
Through valleys deep and mountains high, your faith a beacon in the sky. Every trial with lesson.
Thank you very much.
In pursuing God and leaving behind our past, we embrace a new way of life. Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's reading, titled Life Changes, was written by Amy Boucher Pye. Stephen grew up in a rough part of East London and fell into crime by the age of 10. He said, if everyone's selling drugs and doing robberies and fraud, then you're going to get involved. It's just a way of life. But when he was 20, he had a dream that changed him. I heard God saying, Stephen, you're going to prison for murder. This vivid dream served as a warning, and he turned to God and received Jesus as his Savior, and the Holy Spirit transformed his life. Stephen set up an organization that teaches inner-city kids discipline, morality, and respect through sports. He credits God with the success he has seen as he prays with and trains the kids. Rebuilding misguided dreams, he says. In pursuing God and leaving behind our past, we, like Stephen, follow Paul's charge to the Ephesians to embrace a new way of life. Although our old self is corrupted by its deceitful desires, we can daily seek to put on the new self that's created to be like God. All believers embrace this continual process as we ask God through His Holy Spirit to make us more like Him. Stephen said, "Faith was a crucial foundation for me changing my life around." How has this been true for you? Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Ephesians chapter 4, verses 20 through 24. That, however, is not the way of life you learned when you heard about Christ and were taught in Him in accordance with the truth that is in Jesus. You were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. Let's pray. Jesus, you're alive and working in the world and in our lives. Help us become more like you day by day as we leave our old selves behind. Thank you, Jesus. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
And I want to say good morning to all the folks at the night school out there, Macmillan International Academy. They present to you each morning Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, State Force, and anthems to all of our armed services. Good morning, Maxwell Air Force Base. Hopefully you guys are up this time. Let me give a shout out to the folks down to the south of us, wherever it is, east of us, west of us, and everything. Of Fort Benning, Georgia, home of the Airborne and the 73rd Ranger Battalion. Hoorah! Hoorah! I would say good morning to the 82nd Airborne, but they're probably not listening this morning. They're probably headed somewhere. Godspeed, my friend. Godspeed. I wanted to be a Marine. I'll tell that story another time. Right there. Good morning. We good. That's enough. All right. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to be a Marine, but you guys don't want to hear the story again, do you? Because if you do, I'll tell it. I'll tell you to you one. I'll tell you one more time. I never get tired of telling this story. How I was screw glued and tattooed, but it all worked out. But still, I thought I was, I wanted to wear one of them uniforms. I wanted to wear one of them Marine Corps uniform. But I know you've heard it for 30-something years, so I can skip the date telling. But before the year is out, if I live and nothing happens, you're going to hear this story. You hear this story at least once a year, okay? So you can be reminded of the trials and tribulations that I've had in life, okay? Okay, that's not really a bad one, but, we all have had something, and that stuck with me for a long time. Yeah, about 52 years it stuck with me. But anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds everybody doing well. It is a great day, a fantastic day to be alive. Okay, it really is. Because last night somebody, someplace, went to bed and did not wake up this morning. And to those people, we wish them well. Well, we can't wish them well right now, but we wish that they meet God in heaven and that for the rest of eternity they are well. Okay. Now we got a message today on Monday. We only do this on Monday, so y'all just hang loose there. Okay. Under Admiral McRaven, who was I think the special ops guy in Admiral. I think it's four-star admiral. We call him general. Navy calls him admirals. I don't know. General is a lot more easier to say than admiral. Okay, they both got 3 syllables, except admiral. Okay, general. Okay, McRaven. Okay, that's what we're gonna call him. I'm an Army guy, even though I was stationed at Pearl Harbor for a little while. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. Good morning, Gary, or Dr. Joe, as we affectionately know you. Also, I really want to take an opportunity to thank those young folks out there who gave us every morning my opening salute to the armed forces. I know it sounds like the professionals, but my granddaughter was in there, and they did that last November. They did that last November for Veterans Day, and I thought it sounded so well. I thought I'd make it part of the show, which is what I have done for about a year now, almost. Listen, it sounds just as good as the armed forces do. So, hey, might as well use them. Now, this weekend, my grandkids going to have a Chosen in Scarlet. They're going to have a special. They're going to spend some time with Granddaddy today because this weekend we going to go out and pass out flyers for the campaign. That's right. Nobody turns down kids. Okay, they'll turn me down. Man, get that out of my face. But they never say that to children. They'll say like they'll take it then throw it away. But they at least will take it, and maybe if they take it, they'll read it a little bit there and see. I don't think we. I think we're done with Rita Pearson for the day, for the year. School doesn't start. Well, we may play it at the end of the year if I'm still here. We'll play at the end of the year. But yeah. Rita Pearson gave us our medicine, our way to get the school year started. But let me go. Let me just go ahead. With making your bed. Admiral Raven said one of the things you do when you first get up in the morning to change your whole day, your perspective, is make your bed. Now you are going to understand this as you listen to it, and if you listen to this thing, if you listen to it, you certainly are going to get something out of this. And if you don't, check your pulse because you're not alive. I don't know where you are, but you're not alive. Because if you are alive, you're certainly going to get something out of this show. And then we'll get on. Spent the weekend doing lots of things. Hung out at Sheridan Heights. They had a big family get together out there, and I'm out there politicking. But I was pleasantly surprised at a lot of things I saw out there. We'll talk a little bit about that. And it goes to my thing about the 3 C's. 3 C's, Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. But we'll get into that later on. Somebody was, I think we lost somebody this weekend. Of course, it's to the point now that somebody's always getting shot. But if we work on my 3 C's, okay, the 3 C's, we can change the environment in Montgomery as well as the nation. But it's going to take a commitment. It's going to take a commitment from all of us, parents, supervisors, school teachers, all the like. It's going to take a little work. I always use as my example Valiant Cross. Valiant Cross School is the example for my 3 C's. Those guys, what's his last name over there? It's not Boyd, is it? I forget what's the last name, and I know them. Outstanding young men who run that school out there. The kids, and those kids are the same kids that come from every place else in Montgomery, but they don't accept the excuses. It is not how you start. Okay, it's how you finish. It is not how you start. It's how you. All of us got a story. As a matter of fact, I will get to that a little bit though. But it's not how you start. It's how you finish. Stop blaming how you started on where you end up. If you come out alive, our lives are made of decisions, our choices, however you want to put it. But we'll get into all that later on. I want to get this part. I want to get this piece out here because it really is an outstanding piece of advice to all of us, not just us. It is expected to be somewhat low, but I think my people gonna get out. We ain't gonna worry about it. Okay, my folks gonna get out. They believe in the 3 C's. The 3 C's. Okay, and I'll explain what those are in a little while. Okay, now what did I do with the Admiral there? Greek word that means to speak in riddles. Okay, then. We will come back in a little bit after this, after the Admiral tells us about how we should live our lives. And I sort of really agree with him on this. Okay. So today's message, make your bed, one of the first things you do, by retired Admiral McRaven for the United States Navy, retired. And it's a bit of advice that I think every last one of us can use. Okay. You'll get it in a minute. You'll get it. You'll get it in a minute when we get to it. Okay. So we'll get it in a minute. Okay. So we'll be back right after this message to talk about my weekend, what I did, who I did it with. I'm well, you know what I mean. I'm who, not who I did it with, but nobody actually. We are. Who I participated in activities were, and I had a fun, and I was surprised. I'm going to tell you, it was a big surprise that. Well, I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Okay, I'm just saying. So hang loose, and we'll be right back.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, thank you, President Powers, Provost Fenves, deans, members of the faculty, family, and friends, and most importantly, the class of 2014. It is indeed an honor for me to be here tonight. It's been almost 37 years to the day that I graduated from UT. I remember a lot of things about that day. I remember I had a throbbing headache from a party the night before. I remember I had a serious girlfriend who I later married. That's important to remember, by the way. And I remember I was getting commissioned in the Navy that day. But of all the things I remember, I don't have a clue who the commencement speaker was, and I certainly don't remember anything they said. So acknowledging that fact, if I can't make this commencement speech memorable, I will at least try to make it short. So the university's slogan is, what starts here changes the world. Well, I've got to admit, I kind of like it. What starts here changes the world. Tonight, there are almost 8,000 students, or there are more than 8,000 students graduated from UT. So that great paragon of analytical rigor, Ask.com, says that the average American will meet 10,000 people in their lifetime. 10,000 people, that's a lot of folks. But if every one of you changed the lives of just 10 people, and each one of those people changed the lives of another 10 people, and another 10, then in 5 generations, 125 years, the class of 2014 will have changed the lives of 800 million people. 800 million people. Think about it. Over twice the population of the United States. Go one more generation, and you can change the entire population of the world. 8 billion people. If you think it's hard to change the lives of 10 people, change their lives forever, you're wrong. I saw it happen every day in Iraq and Afghanistan. A young Army officer makes a decision to go left instead of right down a road in Baghdad, and the 10 soldiers with him are saved from a close-in ambush. In Kandahar province, Afghanistan, a non-commissioned officer from the female engagement team senses that something isn't right and directs the infantry platoon away from a 500-pound IED, saving the lives of a dozen soldiers. But if you think about it, not only were those soldiers saved by the decisions of one person, but their children were saved, and their children's children. Generations were saved by one decision, one person. But changing the world can happen anywhere, and anyone can do it. So what starts here can indeed change the world. But the question is, what will the world look like after you change it? Well, I'm confident that it will look much, much better. But if you'll humor this old sailor for just a moment, I have a few suggestions that may help you on your way to a better world. And while these lessons were learned during my time in the military, I can assure you that it matters not whether you ever served a day in uniform. It matters not your gender, your ethnic or religious background, your orientation, or your social status. Our struggles in this world are similar, and the lessons to overcome those struggles and to move forward, changing ourselves and changing the world around us, will apply equally to all. I've been a Navy SEAL for 36 years, but it all began when I left UT for basic SEAL training in Coronado, California. Basic SEAL training is 6 months of long, torturous runs in the soft sand, midnight swims in the cold water off San Diego, obstacle courses, unending calisthenics, days without sleep, and always being cold, wet, and miserable. It is 6 months of being constantly harassed by professionally trained warriors who seek to find the weak of mind and body and eliminate them from ever becoming a Navy SEAL. But the training also seeks to find those students who can lead in an environment of constant stress, chaos, failure, and hardships. To me, basic SEAL training was a lifetime of challenges crammed into 6 months. So here are the 10 lessons I learned from basic SEAL training that hopefully will be of value to you as you move forward in life. Every morning in SEAL training, my instructors, who at the time were all Vietnam veterans, would show up in my barracks room, and the first thing they'd do was inspect my bed. If you did it right, the corners would be square, the covers would be pulled tight, the pillow centered just under the headboard, and the extra blanket folded neatly at the foot of the rack. It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed to perfection. It seemed a little ridiculous at the time, particularly in light of the fact that we were aspiring to be real warriors, tough, battle-hardened SEALs. But the wisdom of this simple act has been proven to me many times over. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. So if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. During training, the students are all broken down into boat crews. Each crew is 7 students, 3 on each side of a small rubber boat, and 1 coxswain to help guide the dinghy. Every day, your boat crew forms up on the beach and is instructed to get through the surf zone and paddle several miles down the coast. In the winter, the surf off San Diego can get to be 8 to 10 feet high, and it is exceedingly difficult to paddle through the plunging surf unless everyone digs in. Every paddle must be synchronized to the stroke count of the coxswain. Everyone must exert equal effort, or the boat will turn against the wave and be unceremoniously dumped back on the beach. For the boat to make it to its destination, everyone must paddle. You can't change the world alone. You will need some help. And to truly get from your starting point to your destination takes friends, colleagues, the goodwill of strangers, and a strong coxswain to guide you. If you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle. Over a few weeks of difficult training, my SEAL class, which started with 150 men, was down to just 42. There were now 6 boat crews of 7 men each. I was in the boat with the tall guys, but the best boat crew we had was made up of the little guys, the Munchkin crew, we called them. No one was over 5'5". The Munchkin boat crew had 1 American Indian, 1 African American, 1 Polish American, 1 Greek American, 1 Italian American, and 2 tough kids from the Midwest. They out-paddled, outran, and outswam all the other boat crews. The big men in the other boat crews would always make good-natured fun of the tiny little flippers the Munchkins put on their tiny little feet prior to every swim. But somehow these little guys from every corner of the nation and the world always had the last laugh, swimming faster than everyone and reaching the shore long before the rest of us. SEAL training was a great equalizer. Nothing mattered but your will to succeed, not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education, not your social status. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers. Several times a week, the instructors would line up the class and do a uniform inspection. It was exceptionally thorough. Your hat had to be perfectly starched, your uniform immaculately pressed, your belt buckle shiny and void of any smudges. But it seemed that no matter how much effort you put into starching your hat or pressing your uniform or polishing your belt buckle, it just wasn't good enough. The instructors would find something wrong. For failing the uniform inspection, the student had to run, fully clothed, into the surf zone, then wet from head to toe, roll around on the beach until every part of your body was covered with sand. The effect was known as a sugar cookie. You stayed in the uniform the rest of the day, cold, wet, and sandy. There were many a student who just couldn't accept the fact that all their efforts were in vain, that no matter how hard they tried to get the uniform right, it went unappreciated. Those students didn't make it through training. Those students didn't understand the purpose of the drill. You were never going to succeed. You were never going to have a perfect uniform. The instructors weren't going to allow it. Sometimes, no matter how well you prepare or how well you perform, you still end up as a sugar cookie. It's just the way life is sometimes. If you want to change the world, get over being a sugar cookie and keep moving forward. Every day during training, you were challenged with multiple physical events, long runs, long swims, obstacle courses, hours of calisthenics, something designed to test your mettle. Every event had standards, times you had to meet. If you failed to meet those times, those standards, your name was posted on a list, and at the end of the day, those on the list were invited to a circus. A circus was 2 hours of additional calisthenics, designed to wear you down, to break your spirit, to force you to quit. No one wanted a circus. A circus meant that for that day, you didn't measure up. A circus meant more fatigue, and more fatigue meant that the following day would be more difficult, and more circuses were likely. But at some time during SEAL training, everyone made the circus list. But an interesting thing happened to those who were constantly on the list. Over time, those students who did 2 hours of extra calisthenics got stronger and stronger. The pain of the circuses built inner strength and physical resiliency. Life is filled with circuses. You will fail. You will likely fail often. It will be painful. It will be discouraging. At times, it will test you to your very core. But if you want to change the world, don't be afraid of the circuses. At least twice a week, the trainees were required to run the obstacle course. The obstacle course contained 25 obstacles, including a 10-foot wall, a 30-foot cargo net, a barbed wire crawl, to name a few. But the most challenging obstacle was the Slide for Life. It had a 3-level, 30-foot tower at one end and a 1-level tower at the other. In between was a 200-foot-long rope. You had to climb the 3-tiered tower, and once at the top, you grabbed the rope, swung underneath the rope, and pulled yourself hand over hand until you got to the other end. The record for the obstacle course had stood for years when my class began in 1977. The record seemed unbeatable until one day a student decided to go down the Slide for Life head first. Instead of swinging his body underneath the rope and inching his way down, he bravely mounted the top of the rope and thrust himself forward. It was a dangerous move, seemingly foolish and fraught with risk. Failure could mean injury and being dropped from the course. Without hesitation, the student slid down the rope perilously fast. Instead of several minutes, it only took him half that time. And by the end of the course, he had broken the record. If you want to change the world, sometimes you have to slide down the obstacles head first. During the land warfare phase of training, the students are flown out to San Clemente Island, which lies off the coast of San Diego. The waters off San Clemente are a breeding ground for the great white sharks. To pass SEAL training, there are a series of long swims that must be completed. One is the night swim. Before the swim, the instructors joyfully brief the students on all the species of sharks that inhabit the waters off San Clemente. They assure you, however, that no student has ever been eaten by a shark, at least not that they can remember. But you are also taught that if a shark begins to circle your position, stand your ground. Do not swim away. Do not act afraid. And if the shark, hungry for a midnight snack, darts towards you, then summons up all your strength and punch him in the snout, and he will turn and swim away. There are a lot of sharks in the world. If you hope to complete the swim, you will have to deal with them. So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. As Navy SEALs, one of our jobs is to conduct underwater attacks against enemy shipping. We practice this technique extensively during training. The ship attack mission is where a pair of SEAL divers is dropped off outside an enemy harbor and then swims well over 2 miles underwater, using nothing but a depth gauge and a compass to get to the target. During the entire swim, even well below the surface, there is some light that comes through. It is comforting to know that there is open water above you. But as you approach the ship, which is tied to a pier, the light begins to fade. The steel structure of the ship blocks the moonlight. It blocks the surrounding street lamps. It blocks all ambient light. To be successful in your mission, you have to swim under the ship and find the keel, the center line, and the deepest part of the ship. This is your objective. But the keel is also the darkest part of the ship, where you cannot see your hand in front of your face, where the noise from the ship's machinery is deafening, and where it gets to be easily disoriented, and you can fail. Every SEAL knows that under the keel, at that darkest moment of the mission, is a time when you need to be calm, when you must be calm, when you must be composed, when all your tactical skills, your physical power, and your inner strength must be brought to bear. If you want to change the world, you must be your very best in the darkest moments. The 9th week of training is referred to as Hell Week. It is 6 days of no sleep, constant physical and mental harassment, and one special day at the Mud Flats. The Mud Flats are an area between San Diego and Tijuana where the water runs off and creates the Tijuana Sloughs, a swampy patch of terrain where the mud will engulf you. It is on Wednesday of Hell Week that you paddle down to the Mud Flats and spend the next 15 hours trying to survive this freezing cold, the howling wind, and the incessant pressure to quit from the instructors. As the sun began to set that Wednesday evening, my training class, having committed some egregious infraction of the rules, was ordered into the mud. The mud consumed each man till there was nothing visible but our heads. The instructors told us we could leave the mud if only 5 men would quit. Only 5 men, just 5 men, and we could get out of the oppressive cold. Looking around the mud flat, it was apparent that some students were about to give up. It was still over 8 hours till the sun came up. 8 more hours of bone-chilling cold. The chattering teeth and the shivering moans of the trainees were so loud, it was hard to hear anything. And then one voice began to echo through the night. One voice raised in song. The song was terribly out of tune, but sung with great enthusiasm. One voice became 2, and 2 became 3, and before long, everyone in the class was singing. The instructors threatened us with more time in the mud if we kept up the singing, but the singing persisted. And somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, and the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start singing when you're up to your neck in mud. Finally, in SEAL training, there's a bell. A brass bell that hangs in the center of the compound for all the students to see. All you have to do to quit is ring the bell. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to wake up at 5 o'clock. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to be in the freezing cold swims. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to do the runs, the obstacle course, the PT, and you no longer have to endure the hardships of training. All you have to do is ring the bell to get out. If you want to change the world, don't ever, ever ring the bell. To the class of 2014, you are moments away from graduating, moments away from beginning your journey through life, moments away from starting to change the world for the better. It will not be easy, but you are the class of 2014, the class that can affect the lives of 800 million people in the next century. Start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never, ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better. Thank you very much. Hook 'em horns.
What a great presentation. Good morning to you.
Get up. You are still here. Time to get busy living. Get up. You are still here. Time to get busy living.
Enough of that.
Get up.
Although I do love that. Anyway, good morning, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed that. I think Facebook just dinged me a couple minutes ago for playing it, but that's okay. If you got something out that's worth the ding. And I'm like the Admiral. I wasn't the Admiral, but the lessons of life of his message were bestowed upon me in some training that I went through when I got to Fort Lewis. And we started out with 30 people. 30. And by the time we got down to the last week, it was about 4 weeks. It was just called RIP, it's Ranger Indoctrination Program, and you had to go through a series of not quite as extensive as the Navy SEALs did, but we had to go through our swamps and we had to go through stuff that I had no idea I had to go through. But I got there. We started out with 30. By the end of that fourth week, we were down to 13. And of course, hey, you know, I was one of the 13, okay, back in the day. And being short didn't help me at all. It didn't help me at all. I'm just telling you, you know, when you 5'6 3/4, and you're going through the swamps, and the guy who's leading you 6'5", he takes a step, and then he cool. I take a step, I'm under the water. You know, I can't believe all that stuff I had to do. But anyway, I think in life, you have got to run into something in your life that means more than anything to you, to the point that you're willing to sacrifice everything for. And until you get to that point, you have not really lived. You have to find, and most of us are kids. We would do anything. That's why having children changes the way you act most of the time. Most of the time. You have to find something that's more important than you are. And you are willing to do anything to protect it, to defend it, and to accomplish it. The problem with society today, it seems to me, that we don't really teach that anymore. We don't teach character. We don't teach community. We just don't teach things of that anymore. I guess it's going to offend somebody. There are some people, someplace in the world that's going to be better than you at something. No matter how good you are at what you do, there's going to be someone who's better than you. You don't get angry about it. You don't get upset about it. You do something about it, and you become better. That's all. You just gotta become better at what you do. So moving right along to other thing. I forgot to put that up there right quick. Okay, put that right there. Okay. So when you find that something, that one thing that you're willing to give everything for, you begin to live. Martin Luther King said, if you don't find something worth dying for in life, you're not worth living. You have to find something in this world. I don't know what it's going to be for you or what it's going to be for me, anything like that, but I can just tell you that you have to find something, whatever that is, your kids, whatever. What you want, Don?
Did you find something? Did you make your bed today?
I make my bed every day.
Okay. That RIP thing, that was when you violated all those Army regulations and jumped 8 times in a day, right?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Out of a
that was back, even though, you had to.
The Army said you can only jump 4 times. That's right. The Army said you can only jump 4 times. Ranger Battalion didn't
3 times. 3 times. And
well, I don't know what it is now. I'm when I was in there.
So somebody risked their whole career because they had extra parachutes.
Yeah.
Did you go like to the place where they put the chute on you, or did they come out and put the chute on you?
Well, most of the time.
No, you had to be when you jump. People from the parachute.
You go to the you go to the rigger place.
So did you do that?
Of course I did.
On the 8 times.
Of course I did.
So how did that work 8 times?
I was.
They fly you out. You jump. Did they pick you up with helicopter?
Yes. Yeah. It was.
And then they brought you back, and then you went over to the thing.
Exactly.
Put on your,
it was a tough
and
day.
then you got on the plane again, the helicopter, and you went out again.
It was a tough
day. They brought
day.
you back. You went out again. They brought you back.
Yeah.
How long did that take?
I don't know. It took all day.
That 8 times.
But it was only 13 of us because everybody else quit.
Now let me ask. At one time, you said you had 33 jumps.
Okay. I got more than you.
Part of did you count that 8 in there?
Yeah, of course I count. I counted. I was still jumping. Didn't make any difference with it.
You said you had 33.
Yeah.
How many did you have?
Yeah, Actually, I can't even
How
remember.
many jumps did you have?
I can't even remember. It's been a long time.
Well, most all the paratroopers
But
I know can
but
tell
I
you how
had
many.
I had more
I
than
know,
you.
I know. You jumped more than me, right?
I had more than you. So
You
that's all
got
that
you
matters.
got more jumps than I did, right?
Absolutely.
You got more jumps than I did.
We
Hey,
finally agreed on
let's
something.
move on.
Yeah.
Look like our Save Our Streets people are selling dope. They may not need that overtime pay. What do you think?
You know, I saw that article, and just because you hire people who make mistakes or do dumb things,
I
you know,
know. The mayor's, it's a great program.
Well,
you go hire drug dealers. How are you gonna get to drug dealers unless you hire drug dealers?
do you really think that the mayor knew that this guy was
I
involved?
really think the program ain't worth crap.
Well,
if you're
I mean, I don't
spending
know
money
that.
on it.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'd rather you be paying cops than dope dealers on the street.
Getting
I believe that would make a better deal.
paying the police is not the problem. The problem is getting somebody.
I know. You're gonna come up. You talk with 5 police officers. And well, you say that. How come the sheriff doesn't have any trouble hiring people?
Now that is a question that I've tried to ask.
No, it ain't a question. I mean, it's just a statement.
But
all right, you want to say the mayor? It's something else. It's not the mayor. It's something else. But the sheriff has no problem hiring police officers.
And again, I think the police.
How many people were murdered in the city of Montgomery?
I think now you're gonna let somebody say something, or are you just gonna talk about it all?
Well, I know what you're gonna say.
I believe
repetition.
It is probably a better environment in the rural areas than it is in the city. I will agree with that. I don't think their job is as hard.
Somebody sent me a video of people drag racing up Coliseum.
I saw that. I saw that last night. Yeah, I mean, what can we do about it?
Stop that when you're in office. You're gonna stop that.
It's against the law now to do it.
Yeah, it's against the law to throw out your poop. You know, none of them. If you don't enforce any of them, they're worthless.
And that has been.
And right now, we don't force it because we only got 14 people assigned to traffic working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. How many does that leave?
Well, let me ask you, do you know somebody who wants to be a policeman?
Not in the city of Montgomery. Nobody would want to work for the mayor of Montgomery. If you had a bad outcome, he wouldn't stand up behind you.
Well, again, I don't know the internal workings.
Why would you work? Why would a police officer work in the city of Montgomery when you could work for somebody like the sheriff department who actually supports you?
Let me ask you, have you ever called the mayor's office and talked to him?
He wouldn't answer the phone.
But you don't know. Have you ever called?
Why would I talk to him? I've called in on the radio station.
But you
wouldn't let me call. You wouldn't let me talk.
I'm talking about.
I asked him how many cops. The things I asked him, he lies about. You know, he wouldn't tell me how many cops. Because it's top secret.
Well, why don't you set up an appointment with?
Hey, let me get to my last thing here.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Where'd you come up with this CCC thing on the toilet? I know you think it's clever, but
I think it is clever. But it's the truth.
I know you do. You're gonna. You think it's clever?
I didn't come up. Wait a minute.
Give me the 3 C's real quick.
I didn't come up with it for you.
What are the 3 C's real quick?
I came up with it for me.
I forgot already. What are the 3 C's?
Culture,
give them to me. What are the 3 C's?
Culture, character, and crime. They're all related.
What kind? Character?
Culture,
crime.
They're all.
How you gonna work on crime? You gonna hire cops?
If you handle the first 2, you got the last one taken care of.
Character, huh?
Character and culture. Yeah, you take care of those.
The character of the mayor is criminal. I mean,
I don't know anything about that. I don't think the mayor's criminal, so I don't know where that came from. But
I'm glad you brought up your RIP thing. And talking about you 15, your 8 jump.
Oh yeah.
Even though it was somebody risked their whole time in service by doing something stupid.
Well, I guess that's why. Wait. I guess that's why the general of Fort Lewis said he's going to get the Rangers moved off post because they didn't follow the regs. So
you wasn't a Ranger,
okay. Everybody's in the Ranger,
but they still need cooks there.
Everybody's in the Ranger battalion.
Were you a Ranger? Do you have the Ranger tab?
I didn't. I never said I did.
Oh, you a liar! You call yourself a Ranger almost every day.
Everybody in the.
Has anybody not heard him call himself a Ranger?
Everybody.
And you've never called yourself a Ranger?
Are you jealous?
Jealous of you, Kevin? What do you have?
Really,
you live in a 1-bedroom apartment. You own your damn car. You own nothing. What am I jealous of?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You can't keep a woman.
Why are you so jealous of me?
As Marcy done got another man.
I'm just trying to figure out.
Now, I used to wonder why you didn't get a VA loan on that house. Again, I think I figured it out because she got the
Okay. I don't even want to hear from you the rest of the day. We're done. You're an idiot. Okay, you really are an idiot. In fact, I'm thinking about just banning you. Period. You just get on my nerve. See, with these personal attacks, and I can handle a philosophical attack because that doesn't bother me. People have a right to disagree, philosophically. But you, what an idiot! You just, I don't know. I think you're on the bandwagon. I think you're banned for a month. Good morning, Top.
Good morning, Councilman Elkins.
Good morning.
I'm still practicing.
Oh, still. Oh, yeah.
I'm practicing.
Good.
So when you ascend to the office.
Yes. Ascend.
When you ascend to the office. So I got a couple of questions for you. You say you attended something this weekend, Brookview Sheridan Heights community?
Yes.
And you said that there were some things that you observed or witnessed that impressed you.
That absolutely changed my perspective about some things because.
Well, I want to hear. I mean, your audience want to hear.
Well, I saw a bunch of us out there. When I say us, I was with them. There was no problem.
When you say us, are you talking about candidates?
I didn't see. There's some candidates.
No. You say you saw a bunch of us out there. What were you referring to? A bunch of us?
Us. People same color as me. And we were out there, and it was nice. It was like a family reunion out there. As a matter of fact.
So are you surprised?
Yeah, that surprised me. Yeah, because recently we haven't had the opportunity to meet together as a group without some trouble.
So you're surprised when a bunch of African Americans get together and there's no violence?
It seems because as soon as I got off, guess what? I got met with some sisters out there fighting in the street.
But
so I mean, it's
different
nice.
Crowd, different age group. You ever heard of July Fest?
No.
Carver reunions.
No, I guess I didn't.
They have thousands at the Carver reunions, and you never have any issue. So people of color can get. Yes, sir. It is in Montgomery. Wolverine Nation. People of color can get together, Kevin, without having any violence associated with it. So don't be so amazing, surprised when you see that, sir.
Well, I'm not anymore. I'm good. And I talk to people, and
okay.
Frankly, there were some people who actually knew me out there. That's
so. I think the election is 14 days away, September 1st.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm.
So you're down to 2 weeks.
Down to 2 weeks.
And you're gonna have the grandkids out there with you.
Yeah.
So you're pulling out the last straw. You got the.
Yeah, we're gonna do
it. And Kevin, are you aware that once you ascend to this office, that you're going to have less than 12 months to serve before you're having to run for the next election is up?
Oh yeah, whoever wins. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whoever wins.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're going to put all this in and then have to get around in less than 10 months, redo this all over again.
Well, it won't be redoing it all over again. It will be an extension.
Okay.
I'll learn a lot of things in the next. If I win, I'll learn a lot of things in the next. In the next 12 months. As a matter of fact, I could probably get more money.
So let me ask.
Yeah.
If this thing is a runoff with 14 or 15 candidates,
and it's going to be a runoff. I mean,
it's going to be a runoff.
Yeah.
So if it's a runoff, have they announced the runoff date?
I believe it's October the 13th. I think that's when the runoff is.
So if it's October the 13th, now that's another month. Yeah. So the next election for the municipal is August of 2027. So you have about 9 months before the next election.
Right.
So really in 6 months, you're going to have to extend, like you said, it's not even, you're going to have to hit the ground campaigning again.
The day after you get elected.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And you've learned some things from this cycle.
Yeah. I truly have. It is. I've learned that it's kind of like your kids. I was walking. You're going to get my point here. I was riding down the street one day with Z, and we looked over to. We saw some people building a house, and he looked at me. I said, "Dad can't build that house. I don't know. I can't tell you the difference between a big nail, a small nail, a wooden nail, or I don't know." And he said, "Yeah, but you're good at one thing." I said, "What's that?"
What's that?
Being a dad.
Yeah.
I said, "Really?" Because so here's what I learned. It is not what I think. It is what the people think. And it's what
the people think.
And it's what our people think and our kids think. Because we can think of all kind of things. We better find out what the people thinking.
Well, my 3 minutes, I don't want to take 5. My 3 minutes are up. Can we end with the 3 C's of your platform? And you can kind of tell the audience how you think that your 3 C's will impact crime in the community. I'll hang up and listen to your response. Good luck, my friend.
I appreciate it. And I certainly appreciate it. And I will get to that. There was somebody was calling. I will get to that. And I think my 3C conversation is a conversation that's long been lost in all the conversations that we do. We keep doing the same thing, but we are not really changing much. As a matter of fact, one can argue since 1991, we've gotten somewhat worse. And when I got here, Emory Farmer was mayor. He was on the last season of being mayor. I think, but he was here for a while because it wasn't until 1999 that Bobby Bright took over. You got to thank Roberta Franklin for that because Roberta Franklin, for some reason, she just didn't like Emory Farmer. And she almost turned the whole city around, got people out to vote who normally wouldn't vote, and And so so Emory time was up, and I liked Emory Farmer. A man who says what he means and means what he says. I think him and Mr. Tuberville got something in common. Say what you mean what you say, he made a career out of being. And of course, again, me and the mayor Farmer did have something in charge and in common. We were both paratroopers, so even though we didn't agree philosophically often, we still had a couple of conversations. And we are brothers. We were brothers of the silk. Okay, regardless whatever side of the bridge he was on or I was on, we were still brothers of the silk. So I liked him. I like a guy who don't give you a Bravo Sierra. No, somebody sent me I didn't copy the fight. Somebody sent me the. I think I'm going to ban that son of a gun. I think I'm just going to get rid of him. I'm just tired of it. These personal attacks. I got thick skin. Okay, but argue with me about something that the one thing on this show, and I will give Donald Jenkins the credit for this because I really didn't mind blasting people when I first began in this business. But there's nobody around here that hadn't done something stupid, haven't done something, haven't made mistakes. Sometimes they ain't been mistakes. You just did it because you wanted to do it at the time, and you found out later it probably was a mistake. So there's not any of us that are perfect. Okay, I do not judge people on personal failures because I believe any man who looks in the mirror will find someone that has not did everything correct. So I get on people about their policies and about their philosophy, not personal failure. There's nobody hasn't ever stepped on it. Nobody. Ain't that right, Templar Days?
Exacto facto. And in the words of that great American, why can't we just all get along?
Because some people just don't want to get along. Some don't.
My one recommendation to you, and the previous caller was talking to you about, one thing I think you need to do is when you go to city council meetings, wear a mask.
Wear a mask?
Yeah, so you know, one of those COVID masks.
What I need that for? That's for wimps.
So you won't be infected by the other. So you're gonna try to do critical thinking.
Yes.
You're gonna try to do independent thinking.
Yes, yes.
But the pack mentality sets in.
Well, you know, it won't set in with me. I'm too old to think differently than the way I think. I'm not too old to rethink something, but philosophically, yeah, I am where I am, and logic and reason is still my friend, and my cousin is common sense. And so you have to fit within those parameters in order for me to take you seriously.
Well, the old saying about blood's thicker than water, but once the pack pulls you in, and you can go in there with great expectations,
which we see all the time, which we've seen all.
Yeah, and once the folks in the I Am Somebody Club start inviting you to different things, then they start to reel you in real slow, and you can't realize it right off, but it's a slow process.
Yeah. Well, you know, I live within my means for a reason. So if the gig is up, I still won't be panicking about living. So I'm going to stay within those means, no matter what office I ascend to. So we can always have honest conversations about life, policy. Nobody's going to hold anything against me. I mean, over my head. Said that one idiot right there. Kept reminding me my failures. I've had plenty of them. But I am philosophically who I am, and I've been that way for a long time. And I won't. Some woman this weekend told me, she wrote me a letter where I think you're mean. Well, I'm not mean. I may be succinct, and I may be somewhat brazen, and I just don't put it with the Bravo Sierra. After 35 years in this city, watching everybody say the same thing every time they want to get elected, say the same thing, and then they don't, and then nothing changes, and then we got to go back another 4 years now, and the next group comes in saying the same thing, and those are platitudes, and platitudes don't change things. They make you sound good, but they don't change things.
Yeah, it's the same thing as bloviating. You know, you bloviate, but you don't really change anything. But hey, don't become one of those catfish. You know, catfish and politicians have a lot in. They got a lot alike. Catfish are bottom feeders. They go along the bottom of the pond or the lake, and they're always looking for an opportunity to feed. And then they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they'll catch these record catfish because they're always looking for an opportunity to feed. And see, a politician's always looking for an opportunity for a project to feed off of.
Yeah, but here,
cause the taxpayers more money.
But I would tell you something, and this is a question that everybody in Montgomery must ask themselves: do we have the political will to do what must be done? And I've been saying that for 30 years. Do we have the mouth will, but do we have the political will to do what must be done? And that's from our court system down to our juvenile system. I'm not sure we do. We like talking about it, but do we really want to do it?
Well, it's just like I used to get invited to all these meetings. We'd meet once a month, and somebody'd bring this and somebody'd bring that, and we'd eat and drink. And you've been to those meetings.
Yeah.
But you never accomplish anything. But you just keep meeting and talking about it. And one day I said, look, I'm not coming to any more meetings. All we do is talk and put stuff over to the next meeting. So we need to accomplish something. But see, that's when you accomplish something, you say, oh, well, now what do we do? And then you got to go and see, it's just, but it's frustrating as a taxpayer to watch it go on, but it's been going on and it'll continue to go on. But just don't be infected when you go down there. Hey, I had my buddy from the Birmingham Police Department call me over the weekend, Captain Jackson, and he told me, he said, what's going on down there? He said, the way y'all prevent violence is paying the dope dealers, and the dope dealers going to prison. And I said, Captain,
you know, okay, but listen now. And I knew that was going to come up when I saw the picture of this young man with the mayor. I can almost bet my whatever. I can almost bet my the most important part of me that the mayor had no idea that this guy subsequently was going to, at any point in his life, going to be involved in a charge with any kind of criminality. So
okay, let's give the mayor that. Let's give him his dues and say he didn't know. But he's got people. He's got multiple police officers guarding him. He's got a guy from Mobile, and the size of the city of Montgomery doesn't need a public safety advisor, director, whatever that guy is. They moved him into the police department and dropped 2 majors down. He's got people that can vet people for him. And if this was the first time, Mayor, you could say, okay, we're going to give you a pass. But he has a history of wanting to get bad apples around him.
Let us disagree for a second. And it's kind of like, I believe it's kind of like Trump in a way. We want to give people who may not ever get an opportunity to do things because of their past, who may not ever get that opportunity. I think the mayor sometimes wants to give those people, now sometimes it doesn't work out, but you want to give people a second chance. Are we a nation of second chances?
Oh yeah, I want a second chance, but you've got to vet people, especially after you've given one person a chance and they brought bad luggage with them,
right?
And then you get another person a chance and they've got bad luggage with them. You've got to be careful in that position with the taxpayers' money. And when you've got people that are wheeling and dealing in dope, people that have already...
But I'm sure the mayor didn't know he was with.
But that's why you've got people to vet people for you.
You do. But again, I don't think
that whole office, Mayor, needs to, and that's what's the bad part. That is a waste of taxpayers' money, resources, and
I'll disagree with you to this extent. I think to call it the Office of Violence Prevention is a waste of time. But we do need a place where people who have been traumatized, lost their possessions, had children killed. We do need a place for those people to talk to somebody.
They've got multiple agencies for that. They've got Crime Victims Compensation Commission. They can call there. They will help them with the funeral expenses, help them with counseling.
I didn't know that.
They've got Angel Hearts. They've got all these groups. Birmingham doesn't have a violence prevention office. Huntsville doesn't have a violence prevention office. Mobile doesn't have a violence prevention office.
Well,
Auburn doesn't have. Why does Montgomery? The reason is because there's a way to conduit money, funnel it to money and give people a job, a friend or a friend of a friend of the mayor, and that's what it's about.
Let me ask you. One of the easiest things to say in the English language is no. It's one syllable. It stops the conversation. The easiest thing to do is say no. The hard part sometimes is saying yes. And I don't agree with everything the mayor does. Matter of fact, I'm probably a 50-50 at best, and that's on a good day. But on the other hand, I guarantee you, if Simpler Days was the mayor of the city of Montgomery, I guarantee you somebody be talking about you like a dog.
Oh, I know they will. But there's one thing: if Simpler Days was mayor, and I walked into the office and there's a nice chair there for me to sit in, and a nice desk, I wouldn't pick up the phone and say, "Hey, my sweet little butt can't sit on this chair because somebody else sat on it before me, and I can't use this desk because somebody else wrote on it." And that's what politicians do with taxpayers. I've witnessed that.
Now let me tell you something. Now I hear what your mouth is saying, But if you were to ascend to that position, right now, you only giving me hyperbole because you don't really know what you do. What if there's something in that desk that you don't want? What if there's something that the last person left in that chair that you don't want? Maybe it stinks. I don't know.
They redo the whole office. When the county commission moved, they had furniture. We got the furniture for my building that I was the director of. We went over there to the county warehouse, got all the furniture,
right.
Brand new furniture, because they had to have new furniture. And they do this anytime these politicians take over an office. In the car, they can't drive the same car that's got 15,000 miles on it, Mayor. They got to have a brand new car, and they got to have a brand new one every 2 years.
Right, and there's where leadership in those departments come from. Now, you and I were probably a reasonable people. Listen, if the car is still running, if all we got to do is put some tires on it and make sure that and tune that engine up every 3,000, 4,000 miles, whatever you have to do, then let's do that to save our money from buying a new car. But then they got mad. Then they got mad at Bobby Bright because Bobby Bright, well, I think he was the first one to bring on these what do you call them, Tahoes or whatever they are. People complain about that. You know, I mean.
Oh, that Tahoes are that now they're in high countries. They're in those $90,000 to $100,000 high countries. They passed those, but look what's going on with the Selma Police Department.
I saw that too. Yeah. I saw
this is a perfect example of when you don't keep your hand on the switch, when you don't watch the controls, when you don't have people to vet things, when you don't require accountability, and you're focused on other stuff, other projects that are more fun, that require you to travel and go to do other things, and then your police department is going
agree,
to hell.
Right. But now I think you can agree with this statement. There are things that you don't know.
About what?
The police department. Right now, or the mayor. There are things you don't know.
After 40 years,
I hear you.
After 40 years in law enforcement,
that's what you knew.
40 years in Montgomery,
right?
34 with the Montgomery. I have people that I see.
Right.
I see it with my own eyes, man. I've passed let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I passed a wreck the other day. Glass, everything laying out in the roadway, part of the vehicle, and they've got two motorcycles now. Two Montgomery Police Sheriff's Department. They got two motors. They used to have 50 officers assigned to the traffic. They got two, and one pulls up, and I'm standing there. I'm standing there talking to the lady. I thought it was the right thing to do. She seemed to be upset, and the traffic officer pulls up, and I said, "Hey, she's okay, but you might want to check on the other party." You know what he says to me?
What's that?
All I can do is write traffic tickets. That's all I can do.
Okay, and that may be all they told him he could do.
You've got to be kidding me.
I don't know.
You've got to be. You can't get your butt off that motorcycle and check on a citizen.
But what if he was told that's what you do? You let the medical personnel come and check on it.
No, nobody was there. No, there was no medics. There was no anybody.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but you didn't answer my question. There are things you don't know. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So
there's probably things I don't want to know. There's probably things I don't want to know, but I'm telling you right now, it doesn't take but just a little while to let things slip to where it is like it is over in Selma.
You're absolutely right. And I think our city council often is not diligent enough to do their job, because they have the power by Act 618 to initiate an investigation in any department in the city, and I don't think they supervise the running of the city very well, to tell you the truth. But you know,
well, when you get down there and you wear your mask, please don't become a catfish.
Okay, I won't.
Have a good day.
I appreciate it. I mean, you know, but again, there are things that on the outside look one way that on the inside is another way. So I'm see that's how I can pursue. See, I got him to say it. Well, yeah, there are things I don't know. See, that's who I am. I got him to say it. You don't know everything. We may think we know everything, but we really. If you give me one more personal,
I'm going to apologize.
Okay, because I'm just saying
I want to apologize for offending you like that.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, you said you spoke with Tuberville?
I spoke to him one time.
And y'all brothers of the Silk?
No, Emory Farmer, we're brothers of the Silk.
You said you were brothers of the Silk with Tuberville.
Tuberville ain't never jumped out of an airplane.
He went him in the Army, but you said you talked with him, and you.
I said Emory Farmer.
Hey, the Chameleon sisters want to know about the bet, the $200.
What $200?
I want to pay you the $200.
Oh yeah, you do owe me that.
Well, how are we gonna work the $1,000 you owe me?
I don't owe you no money.
You did. That's Willie's listening today.
My paperwork is in order.
You thought I wouldn't call you bluff. You thought I wouldn't call you bluff when you said you could prove. You bet $1,000 you could prove you jumped out of a plane. I took $1,000 to Willie Durham. Call Willie Durham and ask him. I took $1,000 over there because you said you would bet it that you could prove that you jumped out of a plane.
Wait a minute. You complained.
And you never proved you jumped out of anything.
I brought you paperwork from Fort Benning, Georgia.
No, you ain't never brought me any official paperwork from
I gave it to him. I gave it, and
he didn't even look at it. You didn't even go over there. You're talking about that thing you cut and paste on your Facebook.
They sent
the Army don't even put out that kind of thing, and you ain't got enough sense to realize that you put your name on it. Didn't read that you changed the font. It had 30 years later.
Let me explain.
You cut and paste.
Wait.
You ain't never proved it.
Okay, wait.
Where's your DD 214?
Wait a minute. Let me explain.
Where's your DD 214?
I have my DD form 214.
Ask Willie to call in and see if you bet $1,000 and you never showed up.
I'm gonna do this.
Call Willie.
Okay.
Call Willie and ask if you bet $1,000 and you didn't show up.
Okay. I gave the paper.
Let's figure out what we're gonna do with the 200. Seeing how you owe me $1,000.
No, I don't owe you. Owe me $1,000.
I know. I owe you. Call Willie Durham.
Okay.
See, if you called me a liar about this the other day, I think you need to prove I'm a liar.
I prove you're a liar? That's not even hard to prove.
You said I was a liar about the $1,000 bet. You said you would prove that you jumped out of a plane.
I gave you the paper.
And you never showed up with anything.
I gave you the paper. I sent the paper.
What proof?
Fort Benning.
What paperwork?
The certificate of completion.
That's that thing you cut and paste. Okay. If it was an official thing, it would have Department of Army or Department of Defense on it. It was some crap you pulled off the internet.
You can't,
and they don't even give crap like that over there. You know why?
You can't,
because you have a DD 214 that says you're training.
Actually, it's
Call Willie. You bet the $1,000 and you never proved it.
Okay. You can fix a lot of things in life, but you can't fix stupid. So I'm sorry about that. Okay. I mean, I don't. That's woo. Why would I lie? That'd be false. That would be, what's that called? Stolen valor. There are people who have he brought $1,000 to my office and would not accept absolutely. He would not accept what we gave him from Fort Benning, Georgia. Okay then. So you cut and pasted. Yeah, okay, brother. Mm-hmm. Good morning.
Mr. Elkins.
Yes.
How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How you?
I'm doing well. Mm-hmm. Man, you may go ahead and just ban old Don.
I'm trying not.
Man, what a complete nasty man.
He just got some weight
issues.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's on your mind?
All right. Yes, I got an announcement. It's a church announcement.
Okay.
All right. Mobile Heights Baptist Church is having a revival starting on the 17th, which is tonight.
Right.
You got Reverend James Harvey from Bethlehem Missionary Baptist Church in Greenville, Alabama. Then Tuesday night, we got the Reverend Dr. Willie Knight. He's going to be bringing the word. And then on Wednesday night, we got Brandon Chesson from Sweet Pilgrim Baptist Church in Brunswick, Alabama, going to bring the word. It's a 3-night revival. But y'all, let's go out and support Reverend Dr. Willie Knight as he brings forth the message.
Okay. Now, do we pay people for coming to preach for those revival nights?
I don't know.
Okay then.
But we're gonna have we're come to have a hallelujah time and give God praise. That's the main thing.
Do we raise special offerings for the preacher that night?
I don't know. I don't see that what got you put off that gospel station.
I know. Okay.
Now do you want to get put on YouTube?
No. We good. Okay, I'll leave that alone. Okay. I'll leave that alone. Okay, I'll just leave that alone. Anyway, if you want to yeah. So that man just don't want to up that $1,000 that he owe us. Plus 200, plus he owes 200 for saying my name wasn't even going to be on the ballot. You see, so that's $1,200 that he owes us. You know, $1,200, but that's okay. We just gonna live with that. Yes,
man, you're a curmudgeon. I'll go ahead and get a damn room or something.
I'm gonna tell you.
Don't get a damn room here. I think we could come up a couple $2 on the damn room. $2. What y'all going out
there are some things that
this morning, just teasing one another this morning and spitting a little stiff at them, winking your eyes at one another.
Yeah,
this morning.
I know,
y'all just gonna get a damn room.
I hear you.
Well, anyway, Calvin, back to Steve. Simpler days. He's talking about people hiring folks that now that don't have experience and the criminal or criminal minded or whatever. We learning from our top leaders. We learning from the White House.
I know, but let's stick to Montgomery. What happened?
I'm just saying though, but that Tuberville tied in. Y'all, he mentioned Tuberville. What Tuberville gonna do? Okay, yeah. But Tuberville is part of a team right now that pardon people that beat the hell out of folks and do all kind of other crimes and stuff like that and don't qualify and stuff like that. But Tuberville is part of that team, Calvin, right now. So he's gonna bring that part of that team mentality to Montgomery, and he come, or he gonna do his own thing.
Well, you got to talk to him. You know, I'll try to get him on before November.
I know. Try to get him on, please, because we would like to know, can he do anything that calls a little thinking on his part? Can he use a word with more than one syllable besides that? Damn it, I'm gonna do what Donald Trump wants to do. I want to hear, damn it, what you're gonna do, Tuberville. Let me move on, Kevin. You was talking. You played this thing about from the Navy or something earlier, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you failed to mention that the treatment, some of the sailors that caused one guy to jump overboard.
Well, all I can say, evidently, he wasn't strong enough to do his job.
In the condition, I mean, what's called there have been Helfsek said the military was gonna be the best, and our guy gonna get everything they need.
They are at war. There are things that happen at war.
Kevin,
that don't.
This lady communicated with her.
Okay.
Husband.
She's
okay.
But he's in the Navy. She's not.
So she got proof that these people wasn't treated like.
Well, again,
she got proof of that, Kevin.
The military is voluntary. You don't get drafted. You join, and whatever happens, happens.
I understand what you're saying on that part, Kevin, but I'm going by what Helfsek came before these body generals when he told them they need to lose weight and all that, all the rules he laid down, that the military were going to be the best, and y'all going to get everything you all needed in the military. Long as I'm here.
The rules have been there.
He said, as long as he's there now,
yeah,
these things going to change.
I like Helfsek. I like him.
He said things were gonna change when he got in. And we're gonna be the best, and y'all gonna get the best service.
We got men who
well, why the hell these guys jumping over the? You know,
I hate to say this, but some people ain't strong as other people. You're on a military weapon. You're on a military ship. sometimes it's going to be tough times. That's the way it goes. Join the army.
But these guys being out there all this time, and they didn't tell them, they didn't give them no clue when they's coming home.
So,
you know, Trump, you know, Trump said, no, Trump to call that war 2 or 3 times. It's over now. They've been blown. They've been blown to hell and back. So you know, he did that 4 or 5 times. So these guys didn't have a date when he's coming home, Kevin. You can take up Trump all you want to this morning, but damn it, it ain't working.
They are paying to be there. Are they not getting paid to do their job?
Their job not sit out there in the damn ocean all this time. And Trump over here, Trump over here arguing about putting his damn name back on the Kennedy Center.
As a military person, you have nothing to do with the commander in chief doing with his general.
I'm talking about what I'm saying. They was in hot pursuit. They was in hot pursuit talking about the military gonna be the best. What do you think? Wait a minute. When I have to go overseas, we're gonna be top.
Wait. When I got it, talking to a non-military member, I understand why you got a little wussified in you. But when you join the military, and it's tough, what do you think people do when they got people in the reserves right here in Montgomery got to go overseas for up to 9 months and up to?
I had 2 brothers that served over in Iraq and all that. But my point to you though, but this administration. Yeah.
I don't care. I'm
talking about listen for a minute, because you want to argue with me. Then you let talk. Let me talk.
You don't know what you're talking about.
What's called a dog you out 2 or 3 times, damn it, and he called back and y'all kissed and made up and damn again. So let me talk for a few minutes, please.
No, but you can.
I'm going by what? I'm going by. I sat there and watched this stuff on Fox News. I sat there and watched this on Fox News when Hefsey said, "My guys gonna have anything they need. If a damn shoestring break, I'm gonna have a new shoestring there for them in the morning."
Let me ask you, where the ships? Where are? Wait a minute. Be careful. Where are ships at? What the ship?
It's over there. Damn it! It got something to do with the war in Iran.
Okay.
Something. It got something to do with that. Okay.
So they in war, right?
What I'm saying now,
which means they can fish.
Regardless of where they are, they're supposed to be taken care of. And
we got men. Okay. Well, just be quiet for a second. Let me go.
Go ahead.
We have young men who leave their family for up to 18 months overseas because you can't unless you take your whole.
Yeah, I heard that part already.
Wait.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, never mind. So you want. We have young men who go overseas for up to 18 months, and I'm one of them that went overseas without having the ability to see their family sometimes. Okay, I don't care nothing about the whining that they're doing. They're getting paid to be there. That's their job. If you wanted it easy, you should have joined the Boy Scouts, not the United States.
I understand that, Kevin. You know, you sign up for whatever when you join the military. But when you got an administration that came in,
that ain't my call. That ain't your call.
Telling people all these damn fairy tales and lies,
that ain't your call. You don't get to make a decision. You don't get to make a decision based on that. You took.
But what I'm saying now, you got this White House right here, Kevin. Yeah. Well, I seen a couple weeks ago, Trump was sitting at a table and they was at a round table.
Let's talk about something
all of them praising Trump and telling how great a job he done. He's the best president ever.
I hear you, bro. Let's talk about something you know something about. You know nothing about the military except what you see on TV and MSNBC. So let's talk about something you know something about. You don't know nothing about.
I'm talking about what I've heard and what I've seen.
Okay? What I heard.
That's what wrong. That's the reason the Republicans and damn position they in right now.
Well, I ain't a Republican, so I don't care what.
Y'all trying to tell us, damn it, don't believe. Who you gonna believe, me or your land? So you don't want us to believe what we see and hear.
Again. If you don't want to be out there a long time, don't join the Navy.
Kevin, can we use our 5 senses? We can smell something sometimes, can we?
I hear you, bro.
You can see, you can touch, and all this stuff. But we can, our main 2 things, we can hear and see. We ain't got to say a damn word if we want to. But I see what's going on. And they ain't doing a damn thing in the White House.
Well, have you ever been to Honolulu?
No, I ain't going.
Okay.
But that hurricane was somewhere over there right now.
The USS Arizona, which is under the water out there, been around there for 80 years almost now. I bet they tired of being there too.
Well, Kevin, no, that's not my point I'm making, Kevin. I got my wife's nephew. He's a chief in the Navy. He's been on that water forever. Okay, he's a young boy. In his 40s, but hell, I know all about this and stuff right here. But how long they stay out there, okay? But my point is, you trying to
it's their job.
Gaslight me. You trying to gaslight me. You trying to gaslight me about what the hell they're not doing.
Job.
Didn't we hear when stuff was going on in the Biden administration? Y'all said that those soldiers need to be taken care of better.
Biden didn't know what room he was in, let alone was.
Kev, didn't you guys say that Biden not taking care of the soldiers?
I gotta go. You're
whining. You gotta go now. See, you gotta go. Since
you're whining a little bit too much for me. I'm good. I'm good. Okay, Kevin, how can you speak for those at war out there? That's their job. They're doing their job. When they raise their hand like this and said, "I swear to abide by the of the commander-in-chief," well, the commander-in-chief said, "Keep your ass out there for a few months." Okay, that's what they're doing. I don't even want to hear the whining. Yes.
Sorry, Nelkins. I just want just one point.
Yeah.
Military people serve and obey orders. We get that. It's not the whining part I think you're missing. I've heard you say about the Marines in Beirut. You had one problem with Ronald Reagan. What was that problem?
He left them. They could not defend themselves because they put the weapons in the doggone army and didn't have them for them.
So you do sometimes understand that military personnel expect their leaders to make the right decisions regarding their welfare.
And that's true.
Do you believe that Ronnie Reagan made the right decision regarding those Marines' welfare?
No, I don't.
That's the same thing here, sir. So they're not whining. If the normal rotation is 180 days, 6 months.
Okay.
So it's not a whining issue. You just expect your superiors.
But Top, the rotation for overseas is 18 months.
Overseas, not in the sea. It's a different when you're overseas and you don't have port calls. It's a difference.
But is there some law that you have to have a port call?
It's not the law. Is there some law that Marines got to have? Kevin.
Yeah.
All you got to remember is Reagan didn't make the best decision when those Marines are in Beirut.
He did not. But it is not the sailor's job to determine what's the best decision or not.
But you expect your military leaders.
You do.
That's the only point is they should have sent the George Washington in ample time where those guys were not out there almost 10 months. Why are they sending them now?
Well, again, there are things like I asked simpler days. There are things we do not know.
But you have military leaders that are generals that are second guessing this decision. So it's not the fact that we don't know. Well, that's not the issue. Yeah. We don't know why Reagan said the Marines couldn't have rounds in their weapons. But we do know that those,
He was being politically correct.
Okay. So you do think that he made the wrong call?
I think he made the wrong call. But I don't think.
But you wouldn't say those Marines should suck it up in Beirut.
Well, they couldn't defend themselves.
The point is, we expect civilian leaders to make decisions for those people that they're leading. That's it. Okay. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Let me ask you something. Then when they send us overseas for 18 months,
Kevin, I was in Okinawa for 12 months without my family. But I wasn't in the middle of the Pacific. It's a difference.
But if you had to be in the middle of the Pacific, you'd have been there.
There will be cruel and unusual punishments. If you can't make a port call, Kevin, you get sea legs. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen to your mentally morale. Even in 6 months, you make port calls.
We need some psychological testing to make sure you're tough enough.
Well, again, and your generation is guilty too much of telling people to suck it up and not acknowledging. There's you got to acknowledge somebody else's point of view, whether you agree with it or not. You at least got to say, "I hear you."
And again, I do hear you, but again,
no, you don't. You anytime somebody does not agree with you, you automatically begin to say, "Shut up, suck it up." You don't say, "Well." You don't acknowledge at all.
But listen, I spent 18 months at a shot overseas.
You were on the dirt, sir. You could go in and out of restaurants. You can go in and out of those.
That's because I took the Army rather than the Navy. Because I didn't want to be on the seas all that water. You made it.
Why?
Because I don't like all that water. That's why.
So again, the sailors made a choice, though. But again, you expect your leaders to give normal rotations. They're sending the USS George Washington out there now.
Good.
They could have done that, but the reason they didn't is because they said we was going to be in and out in 4 weeks.
Right.
They said this war going to be over with before. So it wasn't planned. That's what they're saying, Kevin, is this guy. How many times we've heard that the Iranians are defeated? They've been how many times?
If we can question the leadership style and the leadership ability of the president, because I question it myself, but that is not to be heard if you're on active duty. That is not to be heard from your senior NCOs or your senior officers.
We expect those leading us to make proper decisions. That's all I'm saying. You agreed that Ronnie Reagan made a wrong decision, have those Marines on arms.
I think
and if Reagan could make a mistake, you can't say Hegseth made a mistake.
Well, Hegseth is not the commander-in-chief.
He's Secretary of Defense, sir. I'm sorry. Secretary of War. I'm sorry.
He works for the president.
I got you. So who you think making the call when it comes to the ship movement?
I would hope the president would be with the
Kevin. Come on now, that guy's nodding off when they talk about that. He ain't even awake. Thanks for taking the call.
Okay, with the counsel, of course, of the Secretary of War. Listen, again, there are things we don't know. There are things I don't, and I know there's certainly things that the troops on the ships don't know. Good morning.
Good morning. Listen, I want to bring this back to your regulation. Yeah. Now, you remember when you were on the air and you were arguing about the prisoners the people in prison have a right to conjugal visits. Now, you mean to tell me, I want to see how it's fair. The sailor that's
it is
very honorably in the let me get it out.
Okay, go ahead.
Sailor that's serving honorably on the ship. Ordinary guidelines, doing what his commander's saying, doesn't deserve a conjugal visit with his wife.
Well, again,
right. But you will fight for the prisoners in jail.
Wait a minute. They are putting women on ships now, so we took care of that.
Listen, some folks will stay within their marriage. This is a man married to a woman.
Yeah.
Been in the military 16 years, doing the right thing.
Yes.
He has seen 250 days of his wife.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
But you went on the air talking about people who've been sentenced.
But we can separate it from our family.
I want you to justify me.
A year and a half. We were gone.
I want you to justify an honorable man on a ship.
Yeah.
An honorable, law-abiding, godly man on a ship.
Right. Well, he does have two friends. Wait. He does have two friends on the ship. Okay.
See,
left and right. Okay, if that's what you got to do. Okay, then. I appreciate that. You got to do what you got to do. Again, the troops' job is to go where they're told to go, do what they're told to do, fight who they're told to fight. Not to make decisions about policy. Yes.
These people are crazy. I can't even believe Durham is saying what he said. You ever heard of Shimmy, Alaska?
No.
It's a radar site in Aleutian Chain. I used to have to go out there with a physician and take care of troops. It's a 1-year tour. You don't even go out of the building for a year. It's ridiculous. They say it's a war. I mean, I didn't know they're supposed to go have retreats. See, there's more stuff on an aircraft carrier than you know what to do with. There's movies and everything out, great food.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy. I guess Willie's reading the Iranian Post about this. The guy that supposedly jumped off the ship, he had a life jacket on.
Guess he wasn't serious.
Huh?
I guess he wasn't serious.
Hey, Duke, I looked up, I tried to find Duke the sign painter. Is this the same Duke that's Curtis Duke Creighton sign painter?
I don't know.
Maybe he could explain that he's talking about Trump being a crook. Maybe he can come on, call back and tell us about that theft of property he was arrested for. If it's Curtis Duke Creighton.
Okay, I don't know, but I listen. War is hell. We all get put in a position. I don't think there's anybody that ever served this country that hadn't been put in some very uncomfortable positions. I have been. Okay, so it sleeping under trucks in the snow, sleeping under trucks when it was raining because there wasn't no place else to go. Sleeping in pup tents. I mean, we living outside up to 6-7 months. Listen, especially in Grafenwehr and in Germany when we had to go out every once in a while to fill the gap. So everybody, my hands have been so cold, my feet have been so bitten by the storm. I cried when they started to warm up. Okay, everybody. I mean, I was in excruciating pain. I just lucked up that I got right before frostbite hit. Okay, we all are put in uncomfortable position in the military. Okay, I'm sorry you joined the Navy, but you joined because you wanted an easy job, and then you found out, it may not be, except for the work on the ship. Corps, I know that's kind of difficult because you run 12-hour shift. We understand that, but you know what? You can't. Yeah, you can too. Yeah, I think you can if it's cold as hell outside with ice on the street. You see, at least on the ship they got a bed to sleep in, although it's kind of close quarters for those guys out there. Because I've been I was on the USS Kitty Hawk. Not for no 6 months, of course, but I've been on. I have been on one where I did training with the Marines, and so we were out there. So it's tight quarters. It's tight quarters. The ships are tight quarters, but they also are awfully big. I mean, if you don't really know you own that thing, especially to go downstairs. It was an interesting experience for me to be on the USS Kitty Hawk. So I ain't got nothing to do. Again, I'm just telling you that people have to be gone for over 300 days sometimes when they go overseas. The fact that you're on a ship is no big deal. You join the Navy. Okay, that's where you do your duty. And we got people that in the Navy never been on a ship. I think that's crazy. How in the world you gonna be in the United States Navy and you've never been on a ship? But I guess every job doesn't require you to be on the ship. So let's stop whining about it. You join. You volunteer. When you went down to recruiter's office, you could take the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard, or what they used to call those guys in World War II who refurbished, a ship. What they call merchant Marines. Sorry about that. Sorry. You don't think people who overseas in Germany, who overseas in Afghanistan, you don't think they miss their family too? Of course they do. I got National Guard here. National Guard who are used to going to work 1 day a month, 1 week in a month. Okay. And now they're overseas someplace. Okay. You know what? I have done some training. When you're in the Rangers and when you're in the 82nd Airborne, you do train a lot from Korean Katusas to German soldiers. We train a lot with other people. That's the way it goes. I mean, I'm sorry, some of you guys, the only thing you did is got to base and sat there and to wait for something to happen. We were training. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying 250 days is not a year. It's not a year, and I realize that you probably can get some issues with seasickness and things of that nature. Just in case y'all want to know, yeah, I actually worked on a little ship from Ford Island. I used to go to all the islands of the Hawaiian chain. I was at Ford Island, and we had a transportation unit, and there were those little boats. So I know what it's like to work on water. I got sick all the time. I got sick. Oh yeah, don't forget Space Force. Yeah. I would get sick. I would throw up. That water ain't nothing to play with. But it ain't like an aircraft carrier. Okay, you got a little bit more movement from the waves on a little ship than you do the aircraft carrier. Anyway, stop whining. You join. That's what you join. Okay. Now, so we join in what we join where now? We train with South Korea And now the administration is saying no more. He's with North Korea. Well, I don't know, but anyway, all I can tell you, there are things we don't know. There are things we don't know. I mean, I'm only going by my own past experience. Nothing lately. So there are things we don't know. And just because Trump's in office doesn't necessarily mean that he's wrong about everything he does. It's kind of like a grandma down there in the governor's office. I think she signing that stupid bill to let people carry a gun without a license. I think it's crazy. I think that was stupid. But everybody, when they're in charge, they get to make the rules. I don't have no problem with concealed weapons, but I got a problem with you carrying a concealed weapon and nobody knows. That somebody in the government don't know that you're carrying a concealed weapon. I think that's dangerous, and it has shown to be dangerous. Okay, so I'm good. But anyway, don't join the Navy and then whine that you got to spend time on the water. I'm sorry. That next time join the Army. At least you won't be seasick. Okay. What else has it got? The ocean, blah 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 blah. Okay, just another whining thing here. Let me see here. In the middle of the ocean. In the middle of war, Hegseth going back and forth about the war, that the war has been won. The war is over, bringing them home. If the war's over, I'm with you. I really believe, and this is just my own belief system, noticing how the president acts from afar. I really believe he doesn't want to kill a lot of civilians. I really believe that. And because then if he does that, then the world's going to say you couldn't have you didn't have to do that. We could win this thing in a matter of a couple of hours. I believe we could. But we don't want to kill. He doesn't want to kill a bunch of innocent people. See, them people don't care if they kill innocent people. And let us not forget, let us not forget things like Israel. People come to your country and steal 1,500 of your citizens and kill babies and kids and steal them and stuff like that. So we're not supposed to do anything? Okay. So I mean, I don't know. I think he just does not want to kill innocent civilians. They don't care about killing innocent people. They kill their own people. Not that we haven't, but ours is accidental. Okay, so I'm glad the president is taking his time somewhat. If we can finish this with diplomacy, that's good, if we can. But don't start it if you don't want to finish it, Mr. President. Don't start it if you don't want to finish it. And again, I understand you do not want to hurt civilians. And kids, and because bombs don't care who they blow up on. They don't care. He's trying to be strategic about the ordinances that he have our guys drop, because we certainly don't want them having PTSD just the thought of killing that many people. So I'm just, it's a tough call either way it goes. But don't threaten us every 2 days. And Iran, don't threaten us because 47 years ago, I'm sitting on the aircraft at Fort Lewis, getting ready to go to Iran. They put us on alert. Okay, I couldn't spell Iran, let alone know where it was. But then the Department of Army said, "Well, okay, we're gonna hold off on that. If anybody goes, the 82nd Airborne will go because the 82nd Airborne was more expendable." I said, right on. It's good not to be expendable on this day. So, I knew what I was getting in when I joined. And I wanted to be the best I could be at whatever it is they had me to do. So, see, I'm one of the few talk show hosts that have actually ever served any time in the military. So I'm not telling you about crap that I don't know something about. Okay, no, I don't know something. But 48 years ago, I'm sitting on the plane, and who's in office? Ronald 79? Yeah, it was Ronald Reagan. Well, it was actually Ronald, I think, actually took office in 80. I think he did. And Carter, I think, was in office at that time. And they'd held our citizens for 444 days. And somebody got tired of that. Don, what you want?
Ain't got nobody calling. You won't let me answer stuff. You know, we got the highest recruitment numbers we've ever had. You can't even get a spot. If anybody don't like being on the ship, they can quit. Yeah. Willie, your son might want to get out. If he's still in the service, he might want to get out in case he has to do 6 months somewhere. Maybe you can get him out. It's just so stupid. Man, I forgot the name. Oh, I know what I called about. Where did your story change to a plane from a helicopter?
Plane, helicopter,
you used
what?
To be on a helicopter.
I've been
until
on
I told you a helicopter couldn't go but 200 miles.
I've been on choppers too, my friend.
No, you said going to Iran. We
don't take no. You got to go on the chopper to get to McCord Air Force Base.
No, you don't. You get on buses.
We got on choppers. I don't know what you got on.
I did more of that crap than you ever done in your life. You get on a bus and you go to the base. That's why they're close to each other.
Okay. We were right across
the street. You get on a big blue bus.
We were right. Well, they didn't have blue buses when I was at Fort Lewis.
I know, and they didn't fly.
There you go. I'm tired of you already. Lord have mercy. Good morning. Again.
Good morning again. Just wanted to touch base with Brother Duke. He brought up the piece you play, which is a great piece from the Navy SEAL. Remember what he said about the people that couldn't complete the training, couldn't complete the mission? What'd they call them? Sugar cookies.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Sugar cookies.
Yeah.
And there's some people that are not fit for submarine duty. What about submarine? They go under, stay under the ocean long periods of time. And I'm just glad in World War I and World War II that we didn't have people that, and look like Vietnam, a Democrat got us into Vietnam, and we were told lies all about it. How many brave men and women, how many brave men died? And I'm sure they would have loved to, jumped. And some of them did. Some of them were draft dodgers, that couldn't do it, didn't want to do it. And as Willie said, it's different times now. But no, there were people back then. There were people back then that didn't want to serve, knew they couldn't serve. But I mean, it's just like with Nick Saban. When he came to Alabama, he said everything is going to change. And he made it very, very hard. And the first year, they abandoned ship. They jumped off the ship. But then the ones that stayed, he built them into champions. Bear Bryant took a bunch of guys when he took over at Alabama, took them to College Station, Texas, right in the middle of a desert.
Yeah.
And they'd hear the screen door slamming at night. People leaving.
Yeah, hey, some people. What did the Admiral say this morning? Don't ring the bell.
Yeah, no. And what about in Iraq? And what about multiple tours? People had to do multiple tours in Vietnam.
Yeah, and people
don't you think there was
Afghanistan too, and National Guard here? I mean, you working at the office one day, all of a sudden you get orders to you've been activated to active duty, and now you find yourself 3 months later in a foreign land. You can't even speak the language and barely spell it. Didn't know where it was, but since you are in that branch of the service, those are the things you have to do. So that's
what. Well, it's like that show. The show. The one where they do all those crazy stunts and stuff. The one where they win like $1 million if they complete all the stunts.
You talking about Face Your Fear, Fear Factor?
Fear Factor. There you go. But when you notice, they always got a safety line, a hook on them.
Yeah.
So I would take them a lot more serious if they didn't have that safety line or hook. And I would have taken that guy a lot more serious if he hadn't had a life preserver on.
Yeah, that kind of changed my mind about what he did. Okay, that was for sure. But anyway, I ain't mad at I've been on the ship. I've been on the ship. I haven't been on one for 120 days. That's because I didn't want to join the Army. I joined the Navy. I didn't want to be on one, but I have been on ships at Pearl Harbor. And I went to all the islands and all the Hawaii, and I'm telling you that nothing's more scary than being on the ship at night. One that when it goes back and forth, and my Lord, my stomach was messed up. Woo! But anyway, I was a galley chief, as a matter of fact, on the ship. My little experience with leadership there. Anyway, it's time to go. I gotta go. So y'all just have a great day, and one of these days, Don's gonna pay that $1,200 that he owes us. And until that time, what can I tell you? He owes $200 because I did make the ballot, and he owes $1,000 because he told people that I've never jumped out of the airplane, and I gave them credit. But I'll bring it to you. I'll find my certificate from Fort Benning and I'll bring it to you. Biden received 5 draft deferments. Yeah. Well, listen. I really don't mind people if they can get out of it legally. Who in the hell wants to go get shot at and die? If you can get out of it legally, so but we live in a country that if it lets you get out of it legally, get out of it. Nobody wants to volunteer. Most time people go to the military because it gave us some opportunity to be something. And if it were not for the military, I think the black middle class would have never come about as fast as we did, because we used that military and that GI Bill to buy homes and stuff for our families and things of that nature. So, I knew you held a command position on the ship. Well, hey, I was a galley chief. Somebody got to be in charge. Might as well be me at that particular time at Pearl Harbor. Anyway, I got to go. Listen, it's been a great. I didn't get to anything that I wrote down last night. Okay, I got this one thing right here. Okay, here's one. I got to show you guys this right here. I want to get your opinion. Okay, I want to get your opinion on this particular thing right here. Okay, because I think this is let me see, window. All right, Don, we done, brother. We done. Anyway, this right here. Okay, I want to get this right here. I want to ask you guys this: what would you do in this position? Okay, what would you do? Okay, so this woman goes out to dinner with a young man. Okay, goes out to dinner with him. And she thought it was all you could eat, expensive food kind of situation, right? She thought all you can eat, and and so that's what she thought she would do, okay? Because she got all that weave in her hair. I guess she thought that she deserved. She racked up a bill for $180 because she ate 44 shrimp or whatever it's called, oysters or whatever that junk is called, and the man walked out on her. I call that man a smart man. Okay, that's like when you used to go to the club, woman would be drinking beer. You ask to buy her a drink, she wants Cavassier. Really? Spell it Cavassier. Okay, or they want Hennessy. So right on for the brother, the left her sitting there with the bill. Okay, that's right. Left her sitting there with the bill, and she's probably still washing dishes now. Ladies, don't be greedy. Okay, the man take you out to dinner. Be nice about it. Okay, eat a little so that way you can get taken out again. Okay, for her meal. She is. I mean, this is crazy. A woman abandoned by the date with 100 and she ate 48 oysters. Who can eat 48 anything? Okay, I mean, really, who can do that? Well, now she is washing dishes someplace. That's all I can tell you. Okay, so don't go out to dinner with me. Thank you. See, that's why I don't invite nobody to dinner anymore. I don't invite people to dinner anymore because they want to take advantage of my kindness. Okay, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. Okay, if you're eating a hamburger when I met you, why can't we go to McDonald's for dinner? Okay, that's all I'm saying. If we was eating, hamburgers to begin with, it seemed like to me we ought to be able to eat hamburger for dinner. Why I got to go to Zha Zha's or someplace like that? Come on, man. It's the same hamburger meat. Really? Okay, I'm going now. But what would you do? Whether it's a man or woman, you took a guy out. Listen, you're a woman. You're being nice. You say, "Hey, I'll take you to dinner." Okay. And the woman said, "Are you going to order 48 shrimp, take the woman's bill up, all that?" And you ain't never getting invited back to none of her rooms. I'm just saying, let's be humble, okay? Say, hey, listen, all I need is a hamburger. That's it. Just give me a hamburger or 2 pieces or grilled cheese. That's all. Yeah. Didn't they have Orchard at Golden Corral? That's really all you can eat. Anyway, gotta go. Just thought I would run that by you. I wanted y'all to understand that. So now the lessons of life today. What were the lessons of life today? Well, let me get back to where we were, so you guys understand my lessons of life today, and then I can go because I got to give this guy to you. Okay, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's my lesson of life? Where's my lessons of life? Let me see. Where's the lessons of life today? Because I'm just saying we need those periodically. Okay. We need lessons of life, because lessons of life teach us something about ourselves. And somewhere along there, I had one someplace. Well, I can't find it. Oh, wait. Here it is right here. Wait just a minute. No, that's not it. Okay, wait. This was an important one today. So I got to get to you guys, because this was an important lesson of life today. So August? Okay. August. Oh, tomorrow. Oh, yeah, tomorrow I got to go fix something. Okay, today's the 17th of August, right? Yes, it is. Okay. So the lessons of life today. Can we get to it right quick? Can we get there right quick? Taking forever to get there, but I gotta leave you guys with my wisdom for today. Okay, I know it's 9:07, but that's okay. We can make it. Here we go. Here we go, right here. Here we go. Lessons of life. There we go. Right there, right there. Okay, here we go. Don't you know? There we go. Okay. Now I got it. All righty then. Before I go, okay. Lessons of life today. And the lesson of life today is this. And sooner or later, this is going to happen to you. If you stand for anything, this is going to happen to you. There are times when standing means standing alone. But if you know in your heart that you are right, never stand down. But there's a cost. It will cost you something. You must be prepared. You must be prepared to pay that cost. Okay, because it will cost you something. So just remember that. And if it hasn't happened yet, it's because you haven't found anything strong enough to stand up for. But if you find something strong enough to stand up for in your life, it's going to cost you. But you'll sleep better at night knowing that you did what you believe. Again, there are times when standing means standing up alone. But if you know in your heart you are right, never stand down. But again, remember, it will cost you something. Well, what can I tell you? And that is today. Glad you guys joined us. Also for Don. Everybody else, it's always a pleasure talking to you today. When you hear it. So, the good Lord says the same. We'll see you tomorrow. I said I should expand this show to 3 hours. I don't know about 3 hours. I don't think anybody wants to hear me talk for 3 hours. That's a long time to talk. I did that on radio. I was getting paid for that one. That's it. My time's up. Gotta go. And remember, it is not falling down that makes you weak. It is falling down and never getting up. So we tell you, falling is not a big deal, but staying down is. So the words of the day is keep getting up. That is where the strength lies. That's where the strength comes from. Getting up every time you fall. Keep getting up. And whatever you do, don't quit. Don't quit anything. Okay, then. I got to go. See you. Wouldn't want to be you. Bye. Your faith, a beacon in the sky. Every trial with lessons wrapped tight.